Hello, Dumaguete.
Hello, Negros Oriental.
Hello, Sillimanians around the world.
This is Joshua Soldivillo.
And this is Ronelyn Faith Vailoces-No.
You're watching
Silliman. Good evening, everyone. This is a magazine program that talks about different aspects of Silliman University.
A program initiated to discuss different matters concerning the campus by the sea. You are watching
Silliman.
Hello there, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Dagang salamat for joining another episode. And as you join us tonight, we bid you around the excellent state of health. And of course, we want to give a special shout out to all our televiewers last week and all our followers on social media for that high engagement with our Girl Scouts of the Philippines in line with our #Women's Month series here on #Silliman. And friends, tonight we are still going to feature more empowered, strong, independent women. And we will be hearing their stories of empowerment also, perhaps inspirational stories. And we will be asking them questions also. No, kamusta na ba? No? How are we? How are we?
As women.
How are you? So, mangungumusta tayo sa kanila. And of course, perhaps there will be also more exchanges later on, and we will be very delightful friends if you can comment, also your thoughts, especially on our social media platforms. So Ron, why don't you introduce our guests for tonight?
Thank you very much for that, Josh. And that being said, I would like to introduce our guest for tonight. They are the co-chairpersons of the Silliman University Student Government, Students' Rights and Welfare Committee, Alenah and Dianne. Hello and welcome to the show.
Hi guys, energy check. Welcome to the show, guys.
And of course, together with Alenah and Dianne, we have a dynamic and of course beautiful faculty member from the Psychology Department of the College of Arts and Sciences, Associate Professor Michele Joan Valbuena, or better known as Ma'am Bing.
Hello.
Mic check, Ma'am Bing.
Yes. Voice check.
Voice check. Thank you very much, ma'am, for joining us.
You're welcome. My pleasure.
Guys, happy Women's Month, no?
Yes.
And thank you so much for accepting our invitation to be on the show. Ron, I'd like to begin our conversation with the concept of woman.
Being a woman.
Being a woman. I think one thing that comes to mind when we say women or woman, Ron, is really our mothers, right?
Yes.
So perhaps we can begin our conversation first with what's that one quality that parang hinahangaan nila, that they really admire the most,
on being a woman.
Yes.
Right.
In the image of their mothers. So I'll start with you. Bakit? Diba?
I was put on the spot. Sige ko. Because
So what's this characteristic, Ron, of your mom na as a woman, masasabi mo na, wow, grabe.
Resilient.
Resilient.
Right. And courageous. It's not just one characteristic. You can have a lot of
Only one lang.
adjectives.
Only one
Ay,
lang.
hindi pwede. Dapat marami.
So
Yeah,
resilient.
resilient.
That's a top. Okay. So how about si Alenah?
I would say my mom was she's very strong because she's a single parent and there's two of us.
Resilient and strong. All right.
Dianne.
Dianne.
For me, ano ko, headstrong.
Headstrong.
Other ko,
Why not food strong?
Foot strong.
Pero for me, my mom is really like my role model in life. Like she's very headstrong. She travels every day like an hour in the morning to go to work, but at night she still travels like an hour again just to go home to us.
Wow.
Yeah.
Because mingawan daw siya na mo if di siya ka.
And when we are talking about strength here, it's not the physical strength that we're talking about. It's the emotional and much emotional
Lahat-lahat ng strength.
Lahat na,
Super
mental
science
strength.
level,
Oo,
ganon. Ma'am
Yeah,
Bing.
Ma'am Bing.
My mother,
Yes.
I will say she's physically strong.
Physically strong.
Headstrong.
Diba?
Physically strong.
You have to carry a baby with you. You have to take
Exactly.
care of child. You have to do all of these things, multitask and all those. So women are also very physically strong.
Physically strong.
Especially if you give birth. No? It requires a lot of strength to give birth.
Okay lang yan, Ron. You just underwent that recently.
10 months ago.
10 months ago. For me, when I think of women, and then of course my mom, I think the word that comes to mind is multitasker.
Yeah.
Ang galing. I mean, they can, make you sleep and then clean the house while nagluto, while, doing all of this stuff all together. Multitasker.
Yeah.
So, grabe yung, maybe strategic din, right? So, very, flexible, lahat ng adjectives, no, of being a woman. So, here in the university, we are also very, I think, glad because we have this committee that takes charge on not only to welfare to our women students or women or female students, but also to the entire student body, no?
Yes.
Which is the Student
Rights and
Rights
and
and Welfare Committee
Or
or STRO, no? So, essentially, guys, what do you do as a branch of the student government aside from entertaining usually mga complaints, no, or mga facilitating ganon? But other than that, what else do you do?
We're not really an event-based org, and we want to focus on like the cases and everything. But this year we have been trying
Wow,
to
that's
like
good.
do more events because I don't know. I think solving all the problems it doesn't only stop in direct. Like I feel like everyone should be involved. So we have an upcoming event this March 23. It's in collaboration with SUSG Environment Committee and Psychology Society with the event title.
It's called Liwanag sa Dilim. Pakinggan ang tinig ng mga kababaihan at ng kalikasan.
Ang short, no?
Para sa dilim, pakinggan ang tinig ng mga kababaihan at kalikasan.
Kalikasan. Di ba? Mother Earth, no?
Yes.
Mothering the Earth. Okay. So that's also that's happening this 23rd in
Yeah.
collaboration with SUSG. Do you have any other partners?
Environment Committee and Psychology Society.
And the Psychology Society, of course. Shout out to our psychology students there. So, what will happen exactly on the 23rd?
Yeah, what to expect?
The program will start at 6 p.m. So basically, the straw committee will handle the Reclaim the Night. This is the first part of the event where we will have a walk starting at the Freedom Park, going to SU Laguna Gate, and basically we're just gonna, like as women, we know how hard it is to walk at night. Like it's very scary. So we want to empower women that we want to raise awareness about this issue because we've been trying to really advocate for this, and so we want women to feel like there's a lot of us here and we're doing everything and we can do this. And then after that one, we'll go to amphitheater, which is where the Environment Committee's Earth Hour will be held, and there will be performances there. And I want to add that during the walk, we will also have like a song where everyone will sing, and then we'll just have like our lights on our phones, and so
Placards and
yeah, we want
So
to
the main goal of this event is to raise awareness about the struggles of women walking at night, and then celebrate also Earth Hour. So that's what I'm getting. All right. Yeah. What else? What else will happen aside from the walk?
So after the walk, we go to Amphi, diba, for the Earth Hour, and
Yes.
it's not like purely like Earth Hour. Like as we know, like most of it is intersectional, so it's not like only for the environment. Like we're advocating for environment. Like all of the performers will be women, and there will be speakers. They will talk about like the intersections between like environmental awareness and like standing up for women. So it's like a joint event, and then we plan that since we start the walk with the song Liwanag sa Dilim and like the whole theme, then at the end of the event there will be like a finale, like Liwanag sa Dilim.
Yeah, and
to
everyone
tie
was
everything up.
So it's like a concert or
It's like
something
a
that?
acoustic.
Yeah,
like,
acoustic
chill.
night.
Yeah.
Chill.
It's a millennial thing, Ron.
I'm a millennial. They are, I think, Gen Z.
Gen Z,
Yeah.
millennial to Gen Z thing.
We can't
Alright.
afford a concert.
Yes. So I think that's a very, I would say, exciting event. It's going to be lively, and we look forward to the success, no, of your event this 23rd. I'd like to have now this conversation with Ma'am Bing, no, because she's one of the faculty members in the university na who's been into cause-oriented works, especially for women. So this is quite a personal question, Ma'am Bing. Why are you so, I would say, passionate, motivated to do this cause-oriented works, especially for women?
Okay, my experience in grad school, actually the education and mentorship I received from Dr. Betty Macan was really to open my eyes to the struggles of women, and that women are a minority group in our society, and so on and so forth, you know, in the home, in terms of politics, in terms of social life, in terms of education. And I think that, I don't know, maybe I innately an activist or an advocate for many things, because I have a father who was a really active activist. So our discussions in the home were really about how certain groups of people were marginalized, discriminated, and all of those. So I think that's how I have become a strong activist for human rights.
So primarily parang influenced by your parents.
And then reinforced by school and the exposure I had with women's studies, because I did go into women's studies also.
Okay. Our director is queuing us to pause for a short break, but one last question before we go for a commercial gap, Ma'am Bing. You mentioned about that it was Dr. McCann who exposed you through this works for women. How was this, kumbaga, epiphany, no, or revelation to you, or realization that these gender biases do exist? How was that for you? I mean, what exactly brought you to that realization?
While I was growing up, you know, there were questions I had in my head, but I didn't quite understood. It just didn't feel right. You know, when, for example, when you're not allowed to do or to play soccer because you're a girl, you're not allowed to do karate because you're a girl, you're not allowed to go to the streets to play with the other children, and you're supposed to help in the household chores because you're a girl. I had questions in my head. Why? Because I have two brothers. I'm the only girl. But I didn't really understood it until I went to proper schooling.
Yeah.
And so that's where I was able to connect all of my experiences growing up to all of these things about the women as being marginalized, as being a second class citizen in our society.
So it's like when you entered graduate school, you were able to wear that lens, and voila, kumbaga nakita mo.
And I think it takes a lot, because you can be informed and you can be educated, but to really be able to practice it and really walk your talk.
It's a different thing.
Yeah, it's a whole different thing, and you have to have the heart for it. And that's why I said that maybe because growing up I have a father, I probably have that in my, if there's some sort of an activist gene, I probably have that in my system. So yeah, that's how.
All right. Sige, Ron. So while we would love to extend this, but don't worry, guys. Please stay with us, because when we come back, we'll be asking more, especially from our students, about their experiences also in the campus as we observe this space, safe space for everybody. And of course, Ma'am Bing with her community works, and of course, works inside the university. All of that and more when #Silliman returns. Please stay with us. back and you are still watching Silliman Friends. We're still joined by our strong, balik na yung strong independent woman. That's our hashtags, no?
Yeah.
Our hashtags for this season. Strong independent women from the psychology department, Ma'am Bing, and our co-chairpersons from the STRAW committee. Now, let us extend a little bit, Ma'am Bing, from where we left before we took a short break about your realizations. And then right now, you are one of the pioneer, or I would say the only one in the country who specializes in sports psychology, or the only one that has PhD in psych. Ano ba? Can you clarify this, Ma'am Bing?
No, in the entire country, we are 11 active sports psychology practitioners all over the country. Just 11.
Okay.
My colleagues finished clinical psychology, counseling psychology. Others are graduates of sports science, and they decided to practice in sports psychology. My degree is in research, or kumbaga, it's really in sports psychology, which is in research. So, yeah, if you'd say that I'm the only one of a PhD degree in sports psych, so far, as I know, yes, but I do have a colleague who finished, I think a diploma in sports psychology counseling. I can't quite know, in the US.
Okay. So let's go that specialization of yours, because of course in the grad school, that's referring your MA later on with Dr. Macan, and now you are active in sports as a psychologist, counselor. Kamusta na tayo in terms of sports? Do we get the representation na ba, or meron pa ding gender biases?
Women participation. We have women's category. We have the women category, we have the men category. And women have been competing in many sports. The thing about that, and which is something that I'm really interested to research on, is really about the idea that men athletes are a lot better than women athletes. And this is the reason why we separate the men and the women. In some sports, it's true, but there are other sports that women are actually performing better than men. And many of these sports are those that are endurance sports. Women have been found to have higher endurance than men.
Like what sports are these, Ma'am?
Running, for example, long distance running. I'm not sure, maybe swimming, because it's also an endurance thing. Pero in sports, manggod, for example, in running or in swimming, your height actually plays a primary role, because if you're tall,
Yeah.
if you're tall, you have an advantage in running because your strides are longer, and in swimming. So, kana siya, those are different kinds of factors that you consider. So in terms of that, because we have the women category, men category, not much debate against women, for example. But in mixed categories, and I currently do Dragon Boat, and we have a mixed category.
Yes.
And the mixed category is 60-40, meaning 60% is male or female, actually, in reality. 40% male or female. But the practice is that, because we think that men are faster, stronger. And more powerful, they put men 60%.
Most
they
of the
put
time.
women 40%. So that still represents the way that society thinks about women as being a weaker sex.
Yeah.
I did experience, I coached Dragon Boat, and in terms of performance, when the women, I also don't know, maybe because they're women, they have to work harder, twice as much as men, because they have to prove themselves. But output-wise, performance-wise, the women in our team really perform at par with men, or even better than men.
Wow.
If they are training always, and they are, I mean, the dedication is there. So, and because we also give the same training program for both men and women. In other sports, they give a different training program for women. So they make it, for example, weights or weightlifting. They give lighter weights to women. And I always say, why do you do that? Why
So
can't
parang
you
that's a
let
question
them,
mark.
di ba?
Yeah.
Why don't you let them? I mean, when we started, we had women, and some would say, okay, women, you do half push-ups. Men, you do full push-ups. And I always say, why do you do that? You let them do the full push-up. And then the women really did the full push-ups. And then it came to a point that the women actually did better push-ups
More
than men.
push-ups. Wow.
So it just means that gender has really nothing to do with one's capacity or ability to do something.
Maybe in some aspects,
Yeah.
because, for example, women, we have wider hips. So there are certain kinds of sports that we excel more than men. So, and just like any, even among men themselves, your physique will really make you perform better in specific kinds of sports.
Yeah.
So that's the same between men or female and male.
Right. So I think that's also what research, what science can bring
Yes.
into the table in strengthening, in substantiating these discussions, you know, between, you know, when talks about gender biases, because there has to be also a realistic, no, a science-based, evidence-based, research-based corroborations to all of this. Hindi lang na parang, no, we fight for fairness or we fight for equality or equity. But at the end of the day, I mean, it has to be evidence-based. And, you know, that is well said. And I'm learning a lot, Ma'am Bing. Thank you very much for
Actually,
that.
right. Thank you very much for sharing that, Ma'am Bing.
You're
Now,
welcome.
you mentioned about in the 21st century, you know, women are still marginalized, or there are a lot of issues still being fought by women. Now, I'd like to ask Alenah and Dianne, have you felt this way, or can you share your
Yeah.
experiences?
How
also?
are you?
Yeah, and how did you
As
address
the
that
young
one?
women.
Yeah,
Yeah.
how are you?
And how did you address that one? Alenah?
Kamusta?
I think it really has to do with how, like, when you're a woman, manggod kay kanang murag most people will just look down at you nga kanang o kaniya to ang binuangan kay kuani siya like kanang dali ra ni siya ma-intimidate, and I think like kanang murag gana jud ag kasagaran nga mindset sa mga people good.
That's your observation.
Yeah. And
Did that happen to you also, Alenah?
no, but I have like I know people na who experience that one, and in straw, like it's usually women like who goes to us and then like they share their story, but then like a lot of the cases that we've handled, it was really not pushed through because they're very scared because like aside from like the authority, like they're much like they have but I don't know, they have power against them, so I guess like there's also like that play and power there. So
Yeah. How about you, Dianne?
Me personally, I'm very lucky because I'm in psych and like it's a very women-centered.
Oh, ang
like,
dami ng enrollees ng psych naman. We invite you to enroll psychology department.
not anymore, pero it's a very safe space for women. Like most of my classmates are women, most of our officers.
Yeah.
But personally, I feel like there was one day that I got catcalled like 4 times, and that like all in the same day from different people, and like it was because I was alone that day. Like I was just walking alone. So yeah, I feel like my personal struggle just is like I can't even do normal everyday things by myself. Like if you were a man and you were walking like the streets, like literally just even downtown or something, like it would like the chances of getting catcalled are like I don't know, close to 0. But as a woman, like walking alone by myself in the streets, like I'm just getting catcalled by someone, I find it kind of ironic because like I'm literally in straw, but you know I'm also a victim myself. So yeah.
When you
That's
get catcalled, what do you usually do? What's your response to?
That depends on the mood.
She catcalls back.
When you're feeling feisty, how do you respond?
I feel like I don't really like to I don't know, instigate something.
Dead man.
Like, yeah, like murag,
Dead
I don't want to give them the reaction they want.
I
You know,
see.
like murag, I just ignore it or.
Yeah, Josh, if you get catcalled, what will
Have
you
you
do?
ever?
Have you ever been
Have you ever
catcalled?
been catcalled?
I wear earphones all the time.
Oh, I should wear headphones.
You're so nonchalant.
No,
Okay.
but Ma'am Bing, I'm interested about the story of Dianne because of Alenah rather, because most of the stories also are the same. Like they have this fear, they feel scared, so let's not push through with the investigation or with the complaint. So what is your advice, Ma'am Bing, professionally when it comes to that fear, that ano ba, reservation?
Well, we can encourage the victim or complainant or the student, but it's a systemic thing. It's an institutional thing. And when I say that, where does this fear come from? So it's societal because when you complain all the time, instead of eyes on the offender, it's eyes on the victim. Especially kung woman victim, and especially kung sexual harassment, for example. We need institutions who are very supportive, who will really make students, primarily, for example, feel safe and empower, especially the young generation, and really to make them feel na we're here to support you, we're here to back you up. Because that's the thing, even among older women, rape cases and all those, why is it that women do not pursue cases other than it will take forever, you know? But people, even our own family members, would even question you. Why did you go there? Why did you have to walk at night? Why did you have to wear that? Why does it have to be directed to the victim? Why can't it be directed to the offender? Why did you do that? Diba? So, it's an entire thing. And especially among students, of course they're gonna be afraid.
Are you hopeful, Ma'am Bing? And do you think this is solvable?
Yeah.
These are big questions, of course.
I know, and I always answer that maybe not in my lifetime. Yes, it can be done, definitely. But the thing, Mango, that I'm observing is that, you know, we have all of this information drive and all of these things that we talk about. We talk about women's issues during March. I always ask, then what do you do given what you say? So if we just talk about this, but we don't apply it, for example, in our own homes and in our own families, we don't apply it in our own classrooms, there will never be a better society for women. So I always say, you know, we move forward and then we move backward 5 steps. We move 1 step forward, then we move backward 5 steps. We've never been able to really move forward because balik-balik siya, balik-balik. And just as individuals have a role, ang system, our institution, Silliman University, has a bigger role.
Yeah.
So we have to be able to really do that because we're the ones in authority.
Correct.
We're the ones in power. So we have to make use of that power.
Yes. And go ahead, Ron.
Yeah, banking on that, Ma'am Bing, what are the efforts of the university towards making Silliman a gender
Friendly or a safe
gender
space
friendly,
for all.
a safe space for
Okay, we already have the Safe Spaces Act, okay? Not a lot of people know about that.
Yes.
So teachers, administrators, staff, students, everybody has to know about it. So everybody knows everybody's rights. We already have the sexual harassment policy in the university. There is a procedure. Not a lot of students know that. Not a lot of teachers know that. They probably know it's there, but they don't really exactly understand what it is. We have been doing gender sensitivity training to students, and I heard also to some faculty and staff. But yun na nga, like putting it into practice. It's just there, you're listening or whatever, and then you go back to your workplace, you don't get to apply it. Okay? Because we go back to our old environment that we enforces misogynism and everything else. So, yeah, I think we need to be able to really do a lot.
Yeah.
And kanang education is really important. And when we educate for administrators, for supervisors, for teachers, those who are in positions, you have to be able to really implement it well.
Yes.
So for example, if there are sexual harassment complaints by a student towards a teacher, there has to be proper procedure.
Right.
If the teacher has been found to be guilty, then the teacher has to be punished for it.
Yeah.
And not just, be mum about it and not say it. And that's the way that we can make people really do what they need to do.
Yes, that's how things should move forward. Otherwise,
Yeah.
we keep on moving backwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. So we are running out of time. No? Our conversations here are getting deeper and deeper. But I just love
heavier and
learning a lot.
heavier.
I'm
Yeah.
learning a lot, Ron. So guys, why don't you plug and promote your social media pages and share the details to our student body if ever they experience any sort of harassment or if any complaint regarding their rights and welfare. Please, it's your time.
So for anyone, like for students and who are experiencing, like who wants to speak up, and the straw committee email, sgstraw@su.edu.ph. You can send us an incident report, and we will be happy to coordinate with Salonga Center or the General Council for them to help you or your departments to assist you in the process of solving your cases. But Lane and I are also hands-on in this endeavor, and we are personally helping and doing the work and solving your cases. So if ever you guys have any problems or concerns about your fellow classmates, students, teachers, admin, or the outsiders, so feel free to contact STRAW at our email or on Facebook, Students' Rights and Welfare Committee.
Okay. Anything else, Dianne, you'd like to add?
We have, again, let me plug our event, Liwanag sa Dilim, on March 23, 6 o'clock p.m. at Freedom Park for the walk.
Ayan, that's March 23, guys. Mark that on your calendars. Ma'am Bing, your final message to all women and, of course, to all men this National Women's Month.
Let's just support each other, not put down anyone. Whoever is capable of doing something, we support that. We support regardless of gender, regardless of whatever background anyone has. Just support each other. That's all we need, and care for each other really genuinely.
Support, respect, and care. Yeah.
Oh, di ba?
Support each other, guys. Ganun.
Galit.
Hindi naman. Alright. Anyway, daghang salamat for supporting us by joining us tonight. And we hope that you continue to support us by liking our social media accounts. And take care, guys. And to all our nanay, to our lolas, to all women in the whole world, happy National Women's Month or Women's Month. International, national, regional, local, all over the world. We celebrate all our women. Thank you so much. All right, so see you next week, and to God be the glory.
We appreciate and love you. Thank you very much.
Hey there, Sillimanians and friends of Silliman around the world. Daghang salamat for joining us, support us, especially our Facebook page. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to like, comment, and share your favorite episodes. We also have a YouTube channel. It's called #Silliman. Don't forget to click the notification bell for you to be updated with our recent posts. See you there.
And catch us at Field Products every Monday at 8 p.m. Replays will be shown every Tuesday before the noontime news and every Saturday after the noontime news. This has been Ronelyn Faith Vailoces-No.
And Joshua Soldivillo. Kita-kits next week, only here on
Hashtag
Silliman! Happy National Women's Month!